Broadcasting live on YouTube, Facebook, and X. Here's your host, Andrew Romanella.
Okay? Like, just get the hell out of here. Nobody cares what you think if you're not a Mets fan.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome into another edition of The Rome Show, broadcasting live on youtube.com/The Romanellas, Twitter X, Instagram, and Facebook, The Rome Show. I'm your host, Andrew Romanella. We got you for the next 30 minutes or so, and we got a jam-packed Thursday for the people. We got a Rome Show giveaway. We got a firing in the NCAA. We got an NFL top 5 list, and we have Thursday night football, Buccaneers versus Falcons. What a show, a lot to do, and we start with the pleasantries. The Rome Show 1 on Instagram and Facebook. That's The Rome Show. Then the number 1, get on over there. You can comment live on the show, youtube.com/The Romanellas. That's youtube.com/The Romanellas. All the content, not just the Rome Show content, and the OG Facebook site, or excuse me, social media site, facebook.com/The Rome Show. It's a giveaway day, ladies and gentlemen, which means we ask a question at the beginning of the show. It is a part of our Rome Show Christmas, a holiday spectacular in December. Okay, this is day number 4 of our giveaways. We've had 3 winners so far, asking a variety of questions. Just remember, when I ask this question, if you want the answer, go ahead and comment live on YouTube, Twitter X, or Instagram. Those are the 3 places you can go to comment and win this question. Also, before we give you the question for today's giveaway, look out for this green social media post today and tomorrow. Once we put this social media post out, this is another opportunity for you to win something this December. You just have to share this post. You got to be following The Rome Show 1 on Twitter X and Instagram, The Romanellas on YouTube. And like I said, share that post. We will be giving away stuff all December. Today's show, 2 shows next week, and a giveaway on the social media. So be sure to be following The Rome Show everywhere. Here is today's trivia question. We're talking Major League Baseball today, because Pete Alonso has signed with the Baltimore Orioles, and New York Metropolitan's nation is through the roof, okay? And Pete Alonso had me thinking about championships, because obviously, okay, the only reason why you are a fan of a team is for that team to eventually bring you a championship, which has not happened for the Metropolitans since 1986. Obviously, we all know that the New York Yankees are leading the charge in the amount of championships, okay? Not just in baseball, but in every professional sport. The Yankees have 27 world championships under their belt, okay? The next closest Major League Baseball team to the New York Yankees has 11, 16 less than the Yankees, and the next closest team has 9. Okay? Here's what we're going to do. We are going to give you teams 1, 2, 4, and 5. We're going to need you to name the number 3 team on this list. Here it is. Can you name The top 5 Major League Baseball team in terms of championships missing from this list. Number 1, the New York Yankees, 27. Number 2, the St. Louis Cardinals at 11. And number 3 is a 3-way tie between the Boston Red Sox, the Los Angeles Dodgers, and that's the team you need to find out. The Yankees, 27 world championships. The Cardinals, 11 world championships. The team in third place, 9 world championships, tied with the Red Sox and the Dodgers also for 9 world championships. What team is missing in the top 5 world champions all time in Major League Baseball, along with the Red Sox, the Dodgers, the Cardinals, and the Yankees? YouTube.com/the Romanellas. Instagram, The Rome Show 1. Twitter X, The Rome Show 1. Write us in if you think you know the answer. You'll be winning yourself a Rome Show hoodie. They are fire. You know who's not winning himself anything? That would be the former head football coach of the University of Michigan. I don't know if you saw this story yesterday, but Sharon Moore, the former head football coach of the University of Michigan Wolverines, was fired yesterday for an alleged inappropriate relationship with a staff member at University of Michigan's football program. After being fired by the University of Michigan, Sharon Moore was then detained by Michigan police for an altercation that must have happened post getting fired by the University of Michigan. Now, this story is about to take 39 different turns, but the baseline of this story is simple. Sharon Moore took over for Jim Harbaugh after the national championship season in 2023. If you can remember, during that national championship season, Jim Harbaugh was suspended for 3 games. Sharon Moore led the Michigan Wolverines, was like crying all over the interviews how proud he was of this team. They win the Natty. Harbaugh goes back to the NFL. Connor Stallion's video reporting thing comes out, and Sharon Moore gets suspended again. Jim Harbaugh's got you can't show up to college for 9 years unless you do something clause, whatever the hell that means. And it has been nothing but rocky for Sharon Moore. Now he finishes his second full season as the head coach, and you find out that not only is he having an inappropriate relationship with a staff member while having a wife and 3 kids at home, loser, he impregnated that staff member and doubled her salary on the University of Michigan football books. What are you doing? It is actually embarrassing how, and this is the history of college sports, how many college football coaches have we, or college basketball coaches, or college coaches in general, at these big time SEC, ACC, Big 10, Big 12, Power 4 schools blowing their entire life up? You're making millions. You're at a top 1% of job for any coach ever. You got a beautiful wife and 3 kids at home. What are you doing? It's embarrassing. And the worst part about it is we just continue to double down on giving these losers this money. Why is Brian Kelly getting so much money from these 3 different institutions? Because 10 years ago, someone didn't realize that guy's a loser. Lane Kiffin's a loser. The way that these people act and operate in these jobs where they're making 30, 40, 50 million dollars a year is loser behavior. And we are so enamored with college football and our college football team winning, and we got to do whatever we can to win that we forget about the important things. How about being a good freaking person? Huh? How about morals and values and standards and character? Does that go right out the window? And it kills the credibility of everybody else. That's the problem. Because now when you listen to the next Division I football coach talk about integrity and caring and his players, you think he's full of shit. It's guilty by association. It's like when your friends used to tell you, hey, man, it all matters on who you hang out with. Well, my group of coaches is going to go a long way in indicating what people think of me. If I'm in a list of Division I coaches that are a bunch of clowns that don't treat schools appropriately, that are a-holes when it comes to their opportunities, shady activity and the back door of their program, and that could be a multitude of different things. How does this happen? How do we have people garnering this much money acting this way? To finish, I think this is a culmination of where college sports have been put on a pedestal for the last 15, 20, 30, 40 years. All we have done, especially in the NIL era, is build up, good, bad, or indifferent, these people associated with college football and college basketball, the two most money-making sports at the college level. This is probably going on in other sports. You just heard about Rutgers University, where their gymnastics coach was having an affair with their athletic director. How about Rick Pitino back in the day? The Florida baseball coach just got removed from his post at Florida for inappropriate behavior. This is not something new, but we've continued to put these coaches and these top-level players in the college ranks on this ridiculous pedestal that now they believe they could do whatever they want. And it's embarrassing loser behavior. And the worst part about it is we're just going to go pay the next Michigan head coach $20 million a year. Think about what happened with Brian Kelly and LSU. Think about how Lane Kiffin left Ole Miss. And we're turning around and we are giving him that much more money. Rick Pitino, he essentially just left Louisville, left the country for a little bit, coached basketball overseas, let it all die down, and then slowly brought his way back. And now we could care less what he did 10 years ago. John Gruden's on that path right now. When it comes to basketball and football at the highest level, it is so easy for us to turn the other cheek or not care about the integrity of the person because we care about the way that they coach or they play the game. I am insanely tired of these stories. I am insanely tired of these losers absolutely crumpling up and throwing away the greatest opportunity ever. If you came to me right now and were like, we will give you the head baseball coaching job at University of Michigan for the $7.2 million a year, they're probably going to offer you. What? I'm doing everything in my power to not lose that job. But the way we've built these coaches up, the environment they grow up in, they believe they can do nothing wrong. They believe that they are Jesus, God, the apostles, Moses, name any biblical figure of importance. That's who these head coaches think they are. To finish, here is the statement from Michigan police. Moore was initially detained by police in Saline, Michigan on Wednesday, turned over to Pittsfield Township for investigation into potential charges. Here's what happened. Released a statement Wednesday saying it responded to a 4:10 p.m. phone call at 3000 block of Ann Arbor Saline Road for the purposes of investigating an alleged assault. A suspect in this case was taken into custody. The incident does not appear to be random in nature, and there appears to be no ongoing threat to this community. The suspect was lodged at the Western Hall County Jail pending review. Statement continued. At this time, the investigation is ongoing. Given the nature of the allegations, the need to maintain the integrity of the investigation, and current status at this time, we are prohibited from releasing additional information. I hope the guy gets arrested. I hope his wife leaves him, and I hope he never coaches college football again. That might sound harsh to you. It's the truth. You do never deserve a job again after you screw something up like this. It's Rome Show Christmas. It's a Rome Show giveaway. 4 teams I gave you that are the top 4 of the top 5 in Major League Baseball in terms of World Series championships. The Yankees, the Dodgers, the Red Sox, the Cardinals, and who else to win yourself a Rome Show hoodie? Comment live on YouTube. Comment live on Twitter X or Instagram or Facebook.com/The Rome Show. We are back in 30 seconds to talk to you about Pete Alonso heading to the Baltimore Orioles. Tough day for Mets fans. We'll give you our thoughts after this.
What is one thing every great leader has in common? They challenge their people to not stop at the first right answer. Tighten the Lug Nuts is a leadership book that will teach you how to move past the first right answer with entertaining and detailed examples founded in real-world concepts and experiences. Accelerate towards your professional goals with Tighten the Lug Nuts, one of the best leadership books available.
Welcome back into the Rome Show. Thursday, December 11th, 2025. It's a Rome Show giveaway Thursday. Giving away a hoodie today. Who wants it? Some good guesses on these Major League Baseball teams. But if you know the answer, I need you to write in on youtube.com/the Romanellas, the Rome Show 1, Instagram, Twitter X, all the good stuff, okay? Do you know the number 3 team on the list of World Series champions in Major League Baseball? You got the Yankees, the Cardinals, this team, the Dodgers, and the Red Sox. First person to write in with the right answer, naming that team third most World Series championships in MLB history. Name that team, win yourself a hoodie. We've been giving away hoodies all December long. Look out for this green post on social media today or tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen, and be sure to hit that follow or subscribe button on all of the social sites. We are looking to become a top podcast. We want to be a top 1% podcast on Apple, on Spotify, a top 1% YouTube watch, whatever the hell we could do. All right, so be sure to check this out, do the following, do the sharing, do the subscribing, do all the good jazz. And again, enter for a chance to win a potential hoodie. Pete Alonso, in his mind, is winning in the bank account department, but the New York Mets fan is not winning this offseason. The other day, we mentioned to you that starting closer Edwin Diaz was signing with the Los Angeles Dodgers for a 3-year, $66 million contract. Well, yesterday, the star first baseman for the New York Mets, homegrown cat Pete Alonso, signed a 5-year, $155 million deal with the Baltimore Orioles to become their starting first baseman, thus ending the tenure of the 2 longest tenured New York Metropolitans, 2 of the longest tenured New York Metropolitans to date. This is a part of what feels like overhaul for the Mets, as they also sent Brandon Nimmo to the Texas Rangers in exchange for Marcus Semien. And it begs the question, especially for the Mets fan, what's our plan here? What is the move? What is the front office of the New York Metropolitans planning to do? Because I hear what everyone is saying about the possibility of certain free agents still on the market. A Kyle Tucker, a Cody Bellinger. You can look at some Alex Bregman types, few others out there that you could go after. The offseason is by no means over when the winter meeting ends on December 11th. I understand all of those things. But you have now, heart and soul might be an extreme statement here, but you have taken the DNA of this team and in a serious way shifted it. with the 3 moves that have been made so far this offseason. And I'm not going to come on this microphone and scream and yell and say, this is an atrocious decision. I also don't think it's a great decision. I am undecided right now, okay? Because as a coach, as somebody that's spent his entire career analyzing a roster, deciding what decision makes sense, which one doesn't, is this a recruit we should take? Is this a recruit we shouldn't take? What should we do here? You start to realize that sometimes, though the player is talented and that is the right move, we are not winning with them, okay? I think back on my 12-year career and on the 2 championships I've been a part of, and it's like, we won on those teams, and there's a lot of talent there. Do not get me wrong. But oftentimes, it was the team that you went into the year not expecting to be the best one you'd coached in your time that was the one that was the champion, because it wasn't 1 or 2 or 3 singular players taking us there. It was 18 or 19 or 20 players taking us there. It's like that old adage. We haven't won with them, so let's see if we can win without them. Now, I'm not saying that's right. I'm just giving you the other side of the fence. And a Met fan might argue we have won with Edwin Diaz and we have won with Pete Alonso. Comparative to the history of the New York Mets, making it to the NLCS and the playoffs twice in his 7 years or 6 years, that's a win. But right now, if you're a Mets fan, you are feeling as low can feel, because it's been 365 days from the moment you signed Juan Soto to this moment right now, where everything is going the opposite direction of what you thought. When you signed Juan Soto last offseason as a Mets fan, you felt like we are a contender for the rest of time. For the time of this contract, we feel like we are going to contend. And just 10, 11, 12 months later, partly because your front office is making these decisions and partly because your play down the stretch last year was atrocious, it's a completely different feeling. You actually, as a Mets fan, feel like you're in a rebuild. It doesn't have to feel that way, but it feels that way. When you lose nearly 1,000 combined at bats, okay, in 2 primary positions that have had big hits for you in the big moments, when you essentially lose the best closer in the game, arguably the best closer in the game, it's hard to come back from that. You could make any signing you want this offseason. You could sign Cody Bellinger. You could sign JT Realmuto. You could find a way to get Tyreek Skubal. And the Met fan still, until they see this team actually perform, will not be satisfied with this offseason. If next year does not turn into a better year than last year, if whoever they sign at first base and whoever they bring into the bullpen that's not named Devin Williams and whoever they can add on to this roster, if those dudes don't bring the juice, if those dudes don't turn this thing back into I'm competing for an NLCS, the only thing the Mets franchise is hearing next year is vitriol for their decision to not find a way to sign Pete Alonso, not find a way to re-sign Edwin Diaz, and begin to what feels like a rebuild, trade away pieces while you just gave Juan Soto the keys to the city. Doesn't feel like we're heading in the right direction today as a Mets fan than it did weeks, months, and even a year ago. So what's next? I don't know. A lot of decisions have to be made. The first one being, and it sounds wild because it's like the Nico Harrison situation in Dallas. 9 months after trading Luka, he gets fired. Steve Cohen might believe in Stearns. He might believe in him as a GM. And he might want to be hands off, okay? But you can't allow Saquon Barkley to go to the Eagles and be the greatest rusher in the National Football League and win a Super Bowl over the next 10 months. This can't turn into Pete Alonso as the most valuable player in the league and the Baltimore Orioles figure it out. This can't turn into Edwin Diaz breaks the single-season saves record in Los Angeles, or Brandon Nimmo's now perennial all-star for the next 5 years of his career. Because if that happens, it was a Mets thing. It's a Stearns thing. It's a clubhouse thing. At the end of the day, it's a problem thing. And time will tell. Time always tells. But this is either going to be the catapultation of Stearns and the Mets or the absolute downfall in a 7 to 8 year saga since Steve Cohen bought this team that completely went the opposite way of what anyone would have thought. You're listening to The Rome Show here, broadcasting live on youtube.com/The Romanellas. The Rome Show 1 on Twitter, X, and Instagram. The Rome Show on Facebook. We got a giveaway going on right now. We asked you about the World Series champions in the history of Major League Baseball. The Yankees have the most at 27. The second most World Series championships is 11 for the St. Louis Cardinals. And then you have this team at 9, the Boston Red Sox at 9, and the Los Angeles Dodgers at 9. Who wants to win themselves a Rome Show hoodie? Write in which team is missing from the top 5 list of World Series champions all time. Yankees, Cardinals, Red Sox, Dodgers, and this team missing with 9 World Series champions. Write it in. Win yourself a hoodie. We take a commercial break. We come back to finish. We got the National Football League. It's the Rome Show top 5 heading into week 14 and a preview of Thursday night football. Stick with us here. We're back in a minute on the Rome Show.
What is one thing every great leader has in common? They challenge their people to not stop at the first right answer. Tighten the Lug Nuts is a leadership book that will teach you how to move past the first right answer with entertaining and detailed examples founded in real-world concepts and experiences. Accelerate towards your professional goals with Tighten the Lug Nuts, one of the best leadership books available.
Yeah, the Rome Show. Broadcasting live on youtube.com/The Romanellas. Make sure you head over to youtube.com/The Romanellas and hit that subscribe button. The people need you to subscribe so we can get the people to continue watching the show. It's day number 4 of a Rome Show Christmas. We're giving stuff away. We have not gotten the right answer yet. I appreciate the efforts, people. I really appreciate the efforts. Hopefully somebody in the next 7 to 10 minutes can get the answer correctly. There are 5 teams with 9 or more World Series championships in Major League Baseball. 5 teams with 9 or more World Series championships. Here's the list: Los Angeles Dodgers, Boston Red Sox, St. Louis Cardinals, New York Yankees, and who is the 5th team missing from that list for your chance to win yourself a Rome Show hoodie? You got the rest of the show, ladies and gentlemen, to get in on this action. Let's get ourselves in on the Rome Show Top 5 NFL status. All right, people. This is my favorite day of the week. I love it. I love making top 5 lists. When I first started the podcast with my partner, Anthony Rinaldi, we'd call them Mount Rushmores, obviously top 4. We've graduated. We've added a 5th person to our list, and we'll start with that 5th team. Number 5. That would be the New England Patriots. If you were wondering, the New England Patriots were on a bye last week. Nonetheless, they've been fantastic all year. There have been a lot of concerns with the New England Patriots and their strength of schedule. I don't necessarily care about that, okay? Here's what I care about. Does the team have a good quarterback? Yes. Does the team have a good coach? Yes. Does the team have a good defense? Yes. Is the team playing motivated? Yes. That's what matters to me. It's the National Football League. It's the National Football League in 2025. You're going to tell me that we're going to have favorites on any of these teams? The best part about these top 5 lists that I've created or anyone else created, this league is a crapshoot this year. You don't trust anyone. There's not one team that you truly, truly trust. Okay? Not one. Okay? So that is why we have our number 1 team in the Patriots. I'm realizing as I go here, I've gone a little dyslexic, so we're going backwards today as the Patriots are your
Bob.
I don't number 1. Number 2 would be the Rams. Okay, Rams are sitting at 29.6 points per game. That's good for 3rd in the league. They've only given up 22 points per game offensively. 2 weeks ago, they lost to the Carolina Panthers on the road. Other side of the country, didn't look great. This Rams team, I think, is the best iteration of this Rams team since they won the Super Bowl. Matthew Stafford's playing elite-level football. Their wide receiver core is too good, led by Nakua and Devontae Adams. And something that I feel like have been missing the last few years is the defensive prowess, which they have finally brought to the field. By the way, this Rams team has 7 games versus winning teams. They've played 7 games already against teams with a winning record, okay? And 5 teams who are already in the postseason. So of a schedule that is the strongest, the Rams are at the top of that list. They came into the year with the 3rd hardest strength of schedule in the National Football League. The Rams, they're your, I don't think, no. They're your number 2. All right, let's keep climbing this list. We got the Denver Broncos. The Denver Broncos, they have an okay offense, 14th in the league in points per game at 23.7, but an elite defense holding their opponents to nearly only 18 points per game. They got 9 or 10 fourth quarter comebacks during this season. Sean Payton and Bo Nix, if they can do one thing, it's be clutch in clutch moments. And I've been talking about this Broncos team all year. They fluctuated on this top 5 list. Why? Because it's the how much do I believe in them type situation, okay? I can believe in the you showing up in the fourth quarter. I can believe in the you finishing games. But can I believe in you in the postseason if another team can play a more complete 60 minutes? Sometimes it's a little bit too late. How many times you watched a comeback? Oh, my God, this is an awesome comeback. And then somehow they lose. You're like, they just scored 28 straight points. Yeah, but they needed 31. It was just a little bit too deep. Are the Denver Broncos a little too slow to start right now that the right team in the postseason can knock them off? I don't know. I'm going to come back to you. It's how you finish, not how you start. The Denver Broncos, my number 3 on this week's top 5. We're continuing to climb the list. Number 4 would be the Seattle Seahawks. I probably have them ranked lower than they should be ranked because they're number 2 in points per game and they're number 2 in opponents' points per game. So they're a top 2 offense in terms of scoring, and they're a top 2 defense in terms of scoring. Few things that lead into my concern with the Seahawks. The last 2 games that they've played offensively has not looked like a team that is second in the league in points per game. And all year, I feel like, though they have Njigba and a pretty good running game, it's felt like there have been some pulling teeth moments with this offense. So that's the first thing that gives me a little concern. The second thing is Sam Darnold in big games. You all knew that was coming out of my mouth. That's been the knock on Sam Darnold since Sam Darnold has been in the league. Even more so going back to last year when he was on a legit 14-3 Minnesota Vikings team. It was atrocious in the last 2 weeks of the season. Thirdly, they're a bottom 3rd team in terms of strength of schedule. So I'm a little concerned with the opponents that they've been doing this against, okay? You can't deny 10-3, and you can't deny those numbers. The only thing I can tell you is when it comes to the gut, my gut's telling me I still think there's a few more things I need to see to truly believe in this football team. But in a year when there really isn't a number one team in the league, though we gave that to the Patriots this week, the Seattle Seahawks could be that team on any given week. They are our numero cuatro. And we finish with the Green Bay Packers. 9-3-1 the Packers are. They play our number 3 team on this list, the Denver Broncos, in a big-time battle coming up this weekend. The Packers, I've talked about this all year. This should be an elite team. Their defense is really playing well. The last 4 games, they've really started to show it. And now we will see if Matt LaFleur, Jordan Love, and the squad are who we thought they would be, which is a defense that is dynamite. Currently, they're 6th in the league, giving up 19 points per game, and an offense that can match that level. They're scoring nearly 24.5 points a game, good for 10th in the league. The Packers have played a really hard schedule, and that's something I think that will bode well for them long-term heading into the postseason. The Packers, they are our number 5 team of the week. That's your National Football League Top 5 presented by The Rome Show. I guess we call this a podcast? We call it a radio show? Call it whatever the hell you want. Just follow and subscribe. Tonight, Thursday Night Football, we got the Falcons. We got the Bucks. It's a big game for one team. It's not a big game for another team. The Bucks, they come in at 7-6. The Falcons, they come in at 4-9 with Kirk Cousins as their starting quarterback, not where they expected to be. The Buccaneers, those 7-6, are still in the lead in the NFC South, barely holding it above the second place Carolina Panthers. Bucks are favored in this game by 4.5 points. They're getting back big time wide receiver help in Mike Evans and Jalen McMillan, and Tristan Wirfs, who missed last week's game on the offensive line, will be back to protect Baker Mayfield. This has been a 50-50 proposition. Which Bucks team is going to show up? As they get healthier, they start to become the team that started 3-1, which is a team that I think we thought they would be all season long. That is the key here, though, for this team. Can they stay healthy, and can they hold off the Carolina Panthers? I got the Bucks tonight at the -4.5. Don't overthink this thing, ladies and gentlemen. Though Thursday night presents a tough situation, this is an unmotivated Falcons team going on the road with a bad quarterback and, in my opinion, a bad head coach. Hammer the Bucks at the -4.5. Let's do this one more time before we get out of here. Let's see if anybody can answer the following question. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a giveaway. It's a free hoodie. Do you want it? Here's the deal. There are 5 teams that sit atop the list of Major League Baseball World Series champions. 3 of them have 9 World Series championships. Second place has 11. They're the St. Louis Cardinals. And first place has 27. They're the New York Yankees. In that group of 9 winners, that is, you have the Red Sox and you have the Dodgers with 9 World Series championships. Do you know the other team with 9 World Series championships? Do you know the other team that is tied for 3rd place in World Series championships? We got to run, okay? And since no one was able to get that answer correct live on the show, we are going to allow you to write it in post show. So if you think you have the answer, give it to me to finish. World Series champions, top 5 on the list: Yankees, Red Sox, Dodgers, Cardinals. Who's the 5th team? I'm Andrew Romanella. This is the Rome Show. We'll be back tomorrow morning at 7:10 a.m. to give you the best that we can on a Friday. Have an electric Thursday, and we will see you tomorrow. Peace.
Thank you.